I'm going to tell you about the richest people ever, not just today, but ever. This is a list of the top 3 richest people in history by net worth adjusted for inflation. And these numbers are so large that it will blow your mind. 3. Do you know who's number 1 on the Forbes 400? Yes, Jeff Bezos. Yeah, he's one of the richest people in the world right now, with an estimated net worth of $162 billion. But when we adjust his net worth to inflation, he only ranks 3rd on this list. That means there are 2 people out there who have more money than Jeff Bezos, and if you guessed Elon Musk, you'd be wrong. Elon comes in at number 8 with an inflation-adjusted net worth of around $74 billion. So, who's number 2? Well, you'll have to wait and see, but first let's look at number 3. Jeff Bezos is currently the CEO of Amazon and the founder of Blue Origin, one of the new space companies that are trying to make space travel possible for everyday people like you and me. But even though Jeff is the richest person currently alive, he doesn't hold the record for the largest net worth ever. And that's because we have to adjust his net worth to inflation. If we do that, his current net worth would only rank him 3rd on this list. Jeff has worked hard to get where he is today. He founded Amazon in 1994 and grew it into the massive company it is today. He's also the founder of Blue Origin, a company that's working to make space travel more accessible. However, compared to some of the people on this list, Jeff's wealth is peanuts. Mansa Musa was the king of the Mali Empire from 1307 to 1337 and is estimated to have had a net worth of over $400 billion in today's money. That's almost twice as much as Jeff Bezos. So who could possibly be richer than Mansa Musa? Well, it can only mean one thing. It's time to meet the richest person ever. The richest person ever was an emperor who ruled over China from 1368 to 1424. During his reign, he overthrew the Yuan dynasty and established the Ming dynasty. He's considered one of the greatest military commanders in history and is credited with creating many of the systems that allowed China to become the world's first modern state. He was also responsible for some of the most iconic buildings and structures in China, including the Forbidden City and the Great Wall of China. Kublai Khan's net worth peaked at around $420 billion, which would make him the richest person ever. But how did he get so rich? Well, it all started when he took over the Mongol Empire after the death of his father, Genghis Khan. Under his rule, the empire grew to include much of Asia, the Middle East, and Eastern Europe. He also implemented a number of economic policies that helped to spur trade and development within the empire. For example, he established a new currency and standardized weights and measures. In addition, he created a postal system and a network of inns to help facilitate trade. These policies helped to make the Mongol Empire one of the largest and most prosperous economies of its day. But it wasn't just trade that made Kublai Khan rich. He also conquered a lot of land. In fact, during his reign, the Mongol Empire reached its greatest extent. He conquered much of China, Korea, and Vietnam. He also launched an invasion of Japan, although it ultimately failed. All of this conquest brought a lot of wealth into the empire, as did the tribute system that Kublai Khan implemented. This system forced the people he conquered to pay tribute in the form of goods or services. But perhaps the greatest source of wealth for Kublai Khan was the riches he acquired through marriage. When he married the daughter of the king of Persia, he received a massive dowry. He also married several other princesses and noblewomen, all of which brought a lot of wealth into the empire. All of this wealth made Kublai Khan the richest person in history. And if you think that's a lot of money, just wait until you hear what his great-grandson Genghis Khan is worth. Genghis Khan is one of the most feared and revered figures in history. He was the founder and first great Khan of the Mongol Empire, which became the largest contiguous land-based empire in history. Under his rule, the Mongols went from being a small nomadic tribe to dominating much of Asia and Eastern Europe. But what really made Genghis Khan rich was his ability to unite the different tribes under his banner. He accomplished this through a combination of military force and political savvy. Once he had united the Mongols, he turned his attention to the rest of Asia. He conquered much of China, Korea, and Persia, taking vast amounts of wealth for himself and his people. He also established a number of important cities, including Karakoram, which became the capital of the Mongol Empire. So how much is Genghis Khan worth? Well, that's a little difficult to say, since a lot of his wealth was acquired through conquest, and there's no real way to put a value on that. However, if we were to estimate his net worth based on the amount of land he controlled and the wealth of the regions he conquered, it would probably be in the hundreds of billions of dollars. In other words, Genghis Khan would be the richest person in history. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.